Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Mending Threads, your safe place and your stronghold for whole body wellness. And my, do we have a show for you today? We're going to bring it all together today with a topic called building blocks for the holidays. We have with us this morning a special guest, and her name is Miss Lauren Oliver. And my, does she have some bright eyes for us today? So she
Um,
is the founder and host of our Kids Edition talk show and many other things that I would like for her to share with you. So as to what she's doing, and but the main question we have, which is pretty dressed on this morning, is how did you get to this Our Kids Edition show, and what is that about?
um, and by the way, my name is Lauren Olivia.
Say that
Um,
again.
my name is Lauren Olivia. You said it, Lauren
Yeah.
Oliver.
Oh, is it Olivia? Okay, very good, very good. Miss Olivia. Okay, how did you get to Our Kids Edition talk show? How did you decide to do that?
I decided to do that when I was walking with my mom, and I really wanted to be able to be a YouTuber, or a TikToker, someone that was an entertainer on the social media side. So I would see all these people, and I'm like, man, I really want to be one of these people. So then it came together where I decided I wanted to be a YouTuber. My mom said, oh, well, we got to practice first and beta test to make sure it's perfect, or at least close to perfect, before we shoot off on the show.
Yes, it sounds like your mom is a good guiding person. Like she helps you a lot in doing the things that you want to do. Maybe you could
Oh,
share. Can you share your experience with other young people, such as yourself? Like, what could they say to themselves to make them want to do something like what you want to do? Like, not quit, just to continue and get it done.
Well, my mom always taught me to be very focused. I mean, my dad always taught me to be very focused, and my mom always taught me that the only way to reach a goal is to try. So, I think for all the people out there who are like, I can't do it. I'm gonna make the goal. So, I think that was like this inspires people, knowing that they can reach the goal just as much as I can.
Yes, and that must be real satisfying. Cause how old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
Okay, look at you. So that must be real satisfying. So how do you tell your friends about how it feels?
So I told my friends how it felt. Um, I told my friends, I would tell them every day, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna reach the goal. And I think they felt like really excited for me, because I wanted to do it just as much with anyone, but I wanted to do it with my friends the most. So I was really they were really excited to know they were able to come on the show and be a panelist or a co-host.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Now there's some other things that you do. So can you share me? I see here that you're the president of My Pet Hero. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I created that when I was 6 years old, because I used to really want to be able to walk my. I wanted to be. I'm an animal lover, so as that being said, I really wanted to be
Yes,
able
is
to.
something ringing in the background. Somebody must have their mm, okay
Um,
then. Yes. I'm
I
so
really wanted
sorry.
to be. I really wanted to be able to walk dogs and stuff, or play with cats or things like that, because I'm an animal lover, so I really enjoy doing that. So that's when I created My Pet Hero.
Okay. Now what is My Pet Hero? Is it taking pictures of them or giving them names or what is that?
It's a dog service, pretty much, where you walk the dogs and take
Oh,
care of
I
them
see you
from other
provide.
people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at you. So, So can you tell me so what is the Lauren Olivia project? I see something like that in
So
Destination.
the Olivia so the Lauren Olivia project is pretty much a project about my website where I created it, and it was like I did it with my mom, and it was really exciting and fun. So we called it the Lauren Olivia project. It just added a cute ring to it
Yes.
because I have a
Okay.
lot of projects. Yeah.
So one of the things that I really want to hear about is because you seem to be so knowledgeable and everything, how are you handling this COVID situation and what do your friends say about it?
I'm not personally, it's not as bad for me. I had a couple of people who have experienced it, but I haven't. Me and my family, we're all okay. So it hasn't really took a turn where everyone's like scared or anything, but we still try to do social distancing, keep our mask on, sanitize and everything. And then my friends are they're really my friends and I we're not scared about it because we know the only way to face your fears is to make sure you do the right thing. So pretty much that's what we would do. Like we would wear a mask sometimes. We if we ever go somewhere, we would wear like really nice masks to make sure we don't get the virus.
Yes, yes. Okay then. So now what are some things, and I know that you're on your way to some event or a show. What are some things that you would recommend to young people so that they could take care of themselves other than the mask? Like ways of thinking about it or what would you say to them that could help you not be bored or upset like that? I'm finding in
Um,
talking with a lot of young people like your age, they're telling me that they're frustrated and that they don't know what they're going to do during the COVID and they just want it to be over. They're not enjoying what they're doing. They're not finding anything interesting. So, what could you do to say to help them?
I think what I can do is personally, all you have to do is just try to find something that you enjoy to do. Because if you're doing something that you don't enjoy, it's hard to say, you're like it's hard to have a good time during a really bad pandemic. For me, for example, I've gotten really close with my family because normally my mom's off working, my dad's off working, but now it's like everyone sits at the table, we're all laughing. We
Yeah.
do our normal movie night. So we just try to we're trying to be able to still have the normalcy, but still be able to protect ourselves from the virus.
Yes. So, Miss Olivia, could you then? I wanted to thank you for being here this morning and sharing this insight with us. And I hope you come back because we're getting ready to have the youth shows, and we have a one coming up. So I'll let you know about it. It's for Christmas. Okay,
Thank
then.
you.
Okay, and I hope you participate. Thank you for being here this morning and sharing all that good knowledge.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. So, Nurse Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
that was just such an interesting to listen to her and her enthusiasm and her willingness to engage herself. You understand with all these things. So this morning, we've gotten a lot of crises and coming in. We have spousal abuse that's increased, and one of the things that we're having people do is to develop and start really a gratitude journal, starting right this particular time of the year. And last week we talked about stress and trauma and how it affects our bodies. And today, right now, one of the building blocks to start for the holidays, if we're not already engaged, is to really look at. I thought we could discuss um, gratitude, thankfulness, and how that really heals chronic disease or how it heals the stress related to chronic disease. And so, one of the things we left off is that when we have stress, it increases certain things in our bodies, neurotransmitters that we then tend to respond, thinking that we are having to do something, stress, or sometimes we shut down because of the need to do that. So, one I want to let's say today is that gratitude for the holidays. This is a good time to start. It brings on things like optimism. It helps with our spirituality. We then care about other people, empathy. It increases our self esteem, and it really moves us toward being happy. So I have a granddaughter who's had her dog Rainbow. She's had Rainbow since she was very young. I mean, 20. I want to say the dog is about 15 to 20 years old. So on last night, she called me to tell me that Rainbow died in her arms. And she was just totally, of course, naturally she was broken up because the dog had gone through all of these changes with her. And so one of the things that I was sharing with her is, accept the pain, the loss that's there, but just start trying to look at what you're thankful about because you had an opportunity to be with Rainbow at that particular time. So she started sharing with me all her thoughts and those kinds of things. And she was telling me how peace was just coming over her and what was that about. So she said that feels a little bit better. And but it gives her an opportunity, you see, to lower her stress and to stop worrying about it, to be in the moment with it. And it's going to take a while for her to accept Rainbow from being there. So the point that I'm trying to say today is that if we practice prayer, meditation, and being in the moment right now, that would really begin to help. So, Nurse Sanders, I know that you work with patients and have in the past years. And this time of year, people tend to increase a lot of stress. And I wonder if you could share how you have helped them.
Hmm. Yes, I have noticed during this year it's been quite stressful for a lot of people. And as we talked before, we're going to see a lot of PTSD um, in 2021. We have the pandemic, we have an election that's should be over, and it's not. People are internalizing all of that, and they're losing their jobs. All the families in one home, in the home. They're homeschooling. That's a lot of stress
Yeah. Mm.
on top of your normal stress.
And the
And then,
equipment dies on you.
yeah,
And then you get penalized for not having your homework, and you're
yes,
depending on things like that, and then you just don't even have the proximity of touch or that. I was looking at this young girl, and when I got her picture,
mhm,
I was looking at her eyes. And one of the things people are like, why are you looking at the person's eyes? Why are you look? But one of the things that I have valued because I've had a lot of losses in my life is to
mhm,
appreciate everything that's before me. A
mhm,
person's smile, their eyes, even during the COVID, you understand, even when I look at the president's face, and he won't he won't say that he's no longer there.
yes,
Even
yes,
when I look at it, I feel a little sorrow for his spirit. You
yeah.
understand? So
Some of the young adults are saying they're gonna get a caravan of U-Hauls and go to Washington and just packing this stuff. Say you got to go, and they just gonna start a caravan and take the U-Hauls up to Washington, like the Million Man March, and just
yes,
start packing him and Melania out
packing
of
his
there.
stuff up.
You know, without him knowing, just go to the ladies that keep the house and the butlers and all that, and just tell them just start putting his stuff up in these U-Hauls. But
Well, I saw Jimmy Kimmel Live, the guy that comes on at night. I seldom
mhm,
look at TV, but I had it on that night, and he had a
mhm,
big crane over top of the White House lifted, so everybody have all their little different talks. But
mhm.
I know
Yeah.
that we have somebody special coming on too. But I wanted to know, how do you help people as a registered nurse and you're working with people in the hospital or wherever? How do you
Mhm.
help people that are affected by the post traumatic stress, but they're chronic disease? What do you do as one of the healers? How do you
Well,
proceed to do that?
first of all, well, my method is to talk to the client, give them a platform to just speak their piece, their inner heart, what's on their mind, because a lot of them are still upset that they're not able to go to their place of worship, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are spiritual, they believe in a supreme being, and that's on their mind too, besides what their chronic disease would be. And we focus on how are you, how's your day, what's on your mind today, and they begin to talk, and the basic thing is listening to what they have to say, and letting them speak what's on their mind. And then the next thing we do is, well, how do you think we can resolve these issues? Because some people are just overwhelmed. And if they speak their piece, they'll become peaceful. Write down their thoughts. And like we talk every month, you have to have a plan. Write it down. It's just like making a budget for your,
Mm-hmm.
or just like doing a menu, just like meal prepping. You're writing that down. Write it down, and you, that way you release some of that stuff out of your brain when it's written down on paper. And then you can always go back. And that's why you got to erase this, add that. But we have to learn how to release some of this negativity, because it will affect your immune system. It
Mm-hmm.
releases cortisol and certain hormones that when they're in a high level in your body, it causes your immune system to be compromised. So you have to find a way to keep your body, maintain your body in balance. A normal cold will take you 6 to 8 weeks to get over with, because your immune system is compromised. And you got to get your rest and stop
Mm-hmm.
looking at TV and the negative news media all day. Some people keep their TV on CNN and that Fox News network all day, listening to that stuff. Is traumatic. I mean, it could be traumatic. And then you see your regular local news, people killing one another still, and then you standing, you social distancing, you're trying to do that. Somebody cough. It used to be you say, "Oh, God bless you." Now you ready to cuss the person out if they cough. Just clearing their throat. You're looking at them sideways. I said, my little grandson talking about, oh, corona, corona. I said, shut up, don't say that. He
In
said, oh,
public, embarrassing you.
yeah, cough in his elbow, sneezing is a coronavirus, coronavirus. I said, we don't say that. But it just has everybody on edge. And all you hear, the numbers are increasing. Then you see people still not wearing their masks. But we need to talk about these things and then make a plan. And sometimes you do have to write what you're grateful for, because we have so much to be grateful for. Even though there's been such a large loss of life and illnesses, and people who have recovered, uh, their bodies are still suffering. They're having heart problems, liver problems, uh, chronic lung disease. Their life will be changed forever. And the person their families that live with them and their friends that love them and support them, their lives are changed forever because they're taking care of that sick person. So, so we do the gratitude journal.
Mm-hmm.
Think positively, and you still have to take care of your body, eating right, staying hydrated, doing the breathing techniques that we discussed from the beginning of this these sessions. Just taking a deep breath. And a lot of people, the mental health consultants are saying, just go
Mm-hmm.
outside and walk in the park. Just to get a breath of fresh air. That releases endorphins too. One
Mm-hmm.
person says it's like getting shot with some morphine. You just relax. Just to go walk outside, or if you have a pet, walk your pet, or take your grandchildren or something outside. So all of that is a part of and getting your rest. And if you need to
Mm-hmm.
talk to somebody, like you're still experiencing the anxiety, it's okay to go through talk therapy. Everybody don't need medication. If you talk out your feelings, somebody might be able to help you develop a plan to relieve this paranoid feeling or feelings
Mm-hmm.
of anxiety.
Mm-hmm. And I
Hmm.
think sometimes we have to change the medium so that people can relieve their stereotypes about talk therapy or talking with some, to just know that it is just like sitting at the kitchen table and talking through something that will bring healing for the
Hmm.
situation that you're in, and rather
Right.
than as opposed to exploding, keeping it inside until it boils over like a pot or it
Right.
festers inside of the body. Well,
Hmm.
and also, there's some research that shows that, I think it's a guy through was I think it was someone in McCullough with the APA talked about that when we do this, what is really going on, we even become more joined with another person. When we express gratitude, it makes
Hmm.
us feel more likable, more willing to open up. It's something inside of us that opens up to join with another person. So we then improve. Now, you spoke of the chemicals. We impose upon them a connection, and then the
Right.
person is more willing to accept the connection, is what they
Hmm.
found. So they call it interpersonal chaining or connection, only
Hmm.
because of gratitude. So you could imagine if we did that around us at all times and being present with each other, what would really happen and how we
Hmm.
could change the momentum and the attitude. Well, we have somebody
Hmm.
getting ready to join us, Nurse Sanders. It's
Okay.
our special person, Dr. Floyd Atkins. And I
Hmm.
think he has a special guest he's bringing on with him. And you may
Hmm.
stay on so that we could ask questions or get better information for our next show. Oh, there
Okay.
he is. Oh, look. Oh, and there's one of my favorite people on. Okay, we're going to be healed. I tell you, people, we're going to be healed today. We're going to be ready for the holidays. So, our own resident doctor for wellness is from the Center for Wellness and Healing is Dr. Floyd Atkins. Welcome this morning. And who is it that I know that you have? Who is it that you have?
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, Nurse Sanders and Dr. Lewis. Just so happy to be with y'all today. And yes, I have a really special guest today, and I want to just share some information with you that I think is vital and important throughout the holiday season here. My special guest is Dr. Pamela Brewer Atkins. She is the medical director of the Center for Wellness and Healing in Houston, Texas. And she is a family practice trained MD, but she focuses on a holistic approach when it comes to health and wellness. And, you know, being with her family practice background, every year for many, many years throughout her practice, she has to counsel and talk to people about going through the holidays and the depression and the eating and everything that goes along with them, and also preparing them for the new year. So we got a couple things points I want to ask her about, and let her give her a perspective on it. And then if we have questions, we want to entertain those also. So if I may I go ahead?
Yes, you sure may. Yes, you
Okay.
sure may. And I want to say this. I
Yes.
want to say welcome. Welcome, Dr. Atkins. Welcome.
Good
She
morning.
knows that I've been asking you. I said, do a link, do something to get her on. And I want to say to the audience that Dr. Atkins, Dr. Brewer Atkins, is very well known in the community. And when one thinks about illness and healing, one thinks about the healing perspective with her, and I can personally vouch for that. So I want to say welcome to everybody. Okay, yes, sir, to
Yeah.
both.
Well,
Mhm.
I wanted to say thank you, Dr. Lewis, and so happy to see you, and good to see you, Nurse Janice and Sanders, and I'm just happy to be here today, and great discussion, and I I appreciate that emphasis on that attitude of gratitude. I think it's so important. You know, we always have to remember not that our glass is half full, but half empty, but it's half full. We have something there, and build on what we have, but not what we don't have. So I
Mhm.
it's so important.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, one of the things we want to get into this discussion here is that the big issue that you get every year during the holiday season is how do we make it through the holidays? Because there's so many emotions on, there's so many social issues going on. But the first thing we want to address is when it comes to one of the biggest issues from holidays is gaining weight. Is how do we handle the food? So let's talk about that first, Dr. Pamela. What do you think?
You
Suggestions.
just you just had to bring that up, didn't you? Okay,
I'm
Oh,
bringing
oh boy. Well, I mean, coming in from COVID from the spring, I mean, many of us have gained some, because of that. But this is a different situation going on this year. And so we may not be with our family physically this year. I mean, depending on, um, the situation with COVID, if we have seniors, if we have, we want to be careful. So we are asked right now for Thanksgiving not to gather in groups. But sometimes in our own household, we have a family and we may eat together. So we want to just have a strategy on healthy eating. I think for holiday foods, whether you eat at home or whether you go somewhere, it would be good to take a nice salad, a fresh salad to wherever you go, because many times with our holiday gatherings, we, don't have fresh salads or something like that. So even if you're the only one that eats it, put that first on your plate, and maybe two-thirds of at least two-thirds of your plate or three-fourths of your plate, but maybe people may look at you funny, like, what's that? But make a fresh, vibrant holiday salad. I know in our family, Dr. Floyd makes beautiful salads, and they're colorful. They may have with our food processor, you can shred things, and he may put shredded beets in it, and different colored tomatoes, whether it's yellow or orange, and cilantro, and grated sweet potatoes or grated carrots, and just to have that vibrant salad. And then also make a wonderful salad dressing. There are, very easy salad dressing recipes, and Dr. Floyd can share. And so, and it really makes your plate look beautiful and festive. Or you could add a berry into the salad or something to make it a holiday celebration, whatever berries are available. But to have a nice salad, and then just to not, when you go to a home or you're expecting a holiday dinner, to not go hungry. Sometimes, especially if we're on a special diet, we have diabetes, we have hypertension, we're trying to improve our cholesterol. Don't set yourself up to fail. So sometimes if you can't control the environment, you may eat before you go, and so you're not as hungry, and take your salad,
So I have a question.
yeah.
So at one time, I'm not sure where I heard it, but that you should drink a hot lemon water before you go, or something before you eat. Does that help, or does that help digest the food, or decrease the appetite, or is that helpful?
Well, yes. I mean, sometimes we recommend lemon water because it's alkalizing, or it could be some apple cider vinegar in that glass bottle, the organic apple cider vinegar. Put a tablespoon in with a glass of water, warm, room temperature. Could be cold, but that alkalizes the body because when we eat meats and starches and sugar, it's going to be more acidic. And the more acidic we make our body, the more inflammatory, after we eat that meal, the more joints hurt, uh,
Mm.
achy, we're not feeling our best. So it's good to alkalize when you can. I also recommend, doing a little mini fast before a holiday meal, or the first half of the day when we can, at least to 12, sometimes to 2. This could be drinking liquids like lemon water, uh, herbal teas. It could be making a smoothie, not with fruit juice, but vegetables and some fruits, preferably green. But just to think about cleansing, because many times when we eat, we always expect to eat 2 or 3 meals, and we eat like clockwork, but we don't give our body time to eliminate. So we want to wake up in the morning, but we may want to continue to fast a little bit. Maybe some lemon water, or those that uh, juice could do more vegetable juice than fruit juice. But I don't, when we say juicing, a lot of times we emphasize a lot of, we gravitate towards a lot of fruit juice or carrot juice that's very sweet, but maybe more of a green juice drink, or the smoothies, water, herbal tea. We don't have to immediately eat in the morning, especially if we don't have to go anywhere and have a lot of physical demands on us. So sometimes we just wake up and expect eat immediately, but maybe give our body a break till 12, because we want to make sure we can have an elimination before we start eating. And sometimes we immediately eat and we don't have a elimination. Give time for our bowels to eliminate. So intermittent fasting is it's a big term that a lot of people are using. But just when you can you pause till 12, or can I pause to 2, or sometimes one day you may pause to 4? But we're going to be drinking our liquids, and certainly water and herbal teas and things like that. But just to know, when since we no longer live on the farm, we don't have to get up with that farmer's breakfast we were accustomed to, because we're not going out chopping wood and feeding the chickens and walking 4 miles. But if we want to do a little cleansing and nourishing to our body. So yes, that could be a part of it. Lemon water, has an alkalizing effect. I always tell people, when you do lemon water or apple cider vinegar, to rinse your teeth, because it has immediate acidic effect to your teeth, and you don't want to thin the enamel, but it has an
Okay.
alkalizing effect to the body and makes
Oh,
you
that's a good
like,
thing. Okay, I hadn't thought of that.
yes.
Yes, very good. So, what about women who we had on a discussion last Tuesday evening? We're doing the mental health coaching, and they were talking about the effect of old women going through menopause. And so I shared with them how I could lose weight before, and now it seems like I'm just sitting there looking at myself. So it looks like the car has stopped, put on brakes, and turn the key and turn the ignition off. Okay, in terms of that. So they say that there's some things that you can do as you grow older, so you can be healthier during the holidays, and so that you could begin to get your metabolism boosted, so that it can start, maybe at least the ignition can be turned on.
Mm.
So, do you have any ideas about that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, at 62 myself, I don't consider myself an old woman, but I feel that I am, a mature person, and but I feel like I'm getting better and better. So we want to learn to nurture ourselves, but not have an old mentality,
Yes,
because I think age is just a number. It's how we take care of
the
ourselves, how
body.
vibrant we are, and for our metabolism, we want to stay moving. So as Nurse Sanders says, we want to do something to stay moving, whether it's to take a walk, whether we ride a bike inside our house or outside, whatever is available, whatever is safe. We want a safe place to walk. Even though we have COVID and we're not supposed to be around people, we can take a walk, we can go to a track, we can go to a park and keep a distance from others, but we can get some fresh air. The beauty of Houston is that we have better weather for a longer period of time than other places for those that are listening from somewhere else, but we don't have a lot of snow and ice, and so if you dress accordingly, many times we can get outside and walk. So we want to rev up our metabolism. It would be good to walk twice a day, to walk, after breakfast in the morning, or if you could walk after dinner or before dinner. We see other communities or other people from other countries, Asian people, Middle Eastern people, Hispanic people walking with the entire family. You'll see the grandmother and the mother and the children. And I think we've gotten away from that. When we lived in the country and we lived on a farm, we used to walk to church, we walked to the store, we walked many places, and we got away from that. But I think that helps rev up the metabolism and eat more live foods. It's a little more challenging in the winter, but anything that grows in live, that's why I emphasize the salads and the smoothies as opposed to dead food. We want to dial back on the comfort food, the things that are more processed, things made with flour and bread and crackers and cookies. We can do the quinoa. We can do a little black rice or brown rice. We could do more beans that have more fiber, and fiber helps to push everything through our colon so we can have a good metabolism. So we could do more beans and lentils and curries and things like that that have beans in them, and hummus. I think all these things can help because I think we can be more vibrant as we mature and get better.
One thing, excuse me, one thing I wanted to touch on also is the medical perspective for women who feel that menopause, that they're gaining weight. Talk to them maybe about the thyroid function, the hormone balance, and things they need to screen for. That'd be a good way for them to look at that.
Yeah, at our office, we do a comprehensive screening where at least once a year you do comprehensive blood work, and some patients do it with their doctors. We want to make sure they get a complete thyroid evaluation with blood work. Usually it's 3 tests, and I'll just say the 3 tests in case somebody wants to write it down, which would be the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, H as in Harry, and the free T4 or T4 free is a thyroid hormone, and the T3 free or the free T3. Those things, those thyroid hormones, and the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, can be very helpful. If that TSH, look at your numbers, because what is normal on the lab work may not be normal for you. So I'm very suspicious the closer that TSH gets to 2.0, because many times on the labs, they wait till they're 5 or 4.5 before they consider it elevated. And the closer to 2.0 or 2 or 2.0 may suggest that the thyroid is getting sluggish. So we want to help the metabolism with that. Usually things that increase iodine can help thyroid function, like seaweed and sea vegetables that Japanese people eat in their meals all day. We don't usually grow up eating it 2 or 3 times a day in our foods and our smoothies or things like that. The seaweed, sea vegetables is a good source of iodine, and it supports the thyroid, which is in the neck here, which is the master gland of metabolism. So that can help. And so to check the thyroid and consider iodine. Salt is not the best source of iodine. The seaweed is. And when they come to a holistic practitioner like me, sometimes I'll have them put them on an iodine supplement, usually in the form of a liquid called Lugol solution, Lugol apostrophe S. Usually it's not available in health food stores, but something that you can put on your skin that's soaked into your skin that can help the support the thyroid. But in addition, the breast and the ovaries and the prostate take up iodine, so it can help prevent breast problems, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer. So anyway, that yes, so that the checking the thyroid would be good. Exercise would be good for the metabolism, and
Mhm.
But the adrenals.
and the adrenals that Nurse Sanders mentioned about the cortisol, the adrenal glands make cortisol.
Mhm.
We need to do more stress reduction, which Dr. Lewis, you're expert at biofeedback, or
Yes.
deep breathing, meditation. We need to have a practice of relaxation. In addition to a prayer, sometimes prayer time, we need a little bit of time, where we just focus, lie on a yoga mat or sit in a chair on the balcony, listen to soft music with their eyes closed. I mean, something 15 to 30 minutes we can do once or twice a day to calm the nervous system. So when stressful times happen, we're never not ready to fall off the cliff.
We just did a speaking of what you're talking about now, we
Mm-hmm.
just did a test case during a class on mind body medicine um, from Minnesota. And what we did was we measured the people as they were thinking about certain things. We did the meditation of the skin, the perspiration and the relaxation. And as they began to think of certain things, automatically, they determined themselves that how the stress would go down. But what the most important thing for weight that I have found personally is the unsuspected stress, the demand of every day having to do something. And so you have to make major decisions at a turn for that, because you're doing the mindfulness thing. And so sometimes what we did was we did decision making as a stress reducer. Okay, and we found that that was a major thing, but you can only measure it over a 7-day period. Okay, and that was awesome. That was awesome. And so sometimes, and I'm hoping that we can talk more, but I want to talk more because the stress as it relates to breast. I had a lady to come in recently, and I know that you do breast exams, and you can tell just like in the stomach where there is high stress. My understanding is that you can tell when a person has something going on with them through the heat within the breast. Can
Yes.
you just share us a little bit about that? Because I read during this workshop that the heat begins to increase in the breast and in the chest during stress and trauma. So my mind was like thinking, okay, well, if that's the case, then we might be able to track that even before the person has a certain amount that has turned where the cells have actually changed status. I know I'm not using all the technical words, but I've been thinking about it in that manner. So can you just share with us what that means and how that's related to stress and what you do?
Yes, at our office we do thermography. It's a heat thermography, therm heat, and it's a heat sensitive imaging of parts of the body. The most common part we do of the body that's requested is the breast. But when we know with the breast, it's have blood vessels and very vascular. We have lymph nodes, and when they're inflamed, it's warmer. When a tumor is developing, particularly a tumor that may have be prone to cancerous, there's more blood vessels, and you see more heat, and you see rings and certain formations. So we do a screening without radiation for looking for that inflammatory, more vascular patterns that can be suggestive of an increased risk for breast cancer. It is not diagnostic, but it is a screening, and that's what we do. And the good thing is it doesn't have radiation, so usually just takes about 10 minutes to do it. And it's a test we do. It's less than $200, but it's not covered by insurance. But most of my patients just are not wealthy, but like it because there's no pressing. Some people have a lot of discomfort with pressing with the mammogram. It can be done as an adjunct to a mammogram, but for those for whatever reason have declined mammograms, that could be initial screening. But we do one, and then we usually recommend repeating in 3 months. But that screening for inflammatory changes in the breast lumps, or if you feel a lump or something of that nature, to see in that area if there's inflammation, if it's more suspicious. But as far as stress can affect the breast and increase the risk for cancer, increasing the cortisol levels, etc., that can stimulate that blood sugar to be higher. Many times when we have stress, we do stress eating. So it's like the chicken or the egg. What came first? The stress eating, the stress eating, and then can increase the risk for most inflammatory disorders and cancers. So we want to decrease the stress, relaxation, particularly the holidays. I think it's really important to try to tell our families we want to change the dynamics, maybe take the pressure off of buying things for the holidays. Many people are maybe out of work, or work has changed, or money has changed, but let's just have gratitude, and maybe for those with children, teach our children how to make something, a craft or something that could be a gift, or but more about giving than receiving. But or just to say we're just going to have a nice dinner and have show our thanks and gratitude, but take the pressure off of all the shopping and buying, and the pressure of needing to buy a gift, because there's a lot of financial pressure for families during the holidays.
And I even like the whole idea. What I've decided to do is I don't like shopping. So I like giving things to people. If it was already there, I could make it. So I do a lot of canning, and I make soap and things like this. And that's what I give people for the holidays. Is something that I can do like that. And the other thing is a deed. So you write a card and you say, that I need you, I know that you need to go to the store. So what I'll do is I'll choose a day and I'll do an errand for you, and that's going to be my gift or something like that. Or I'll wash your car and clean it out and detail it. That's my gift to you. And those are wonderful gifts because we need them.
What's your address? Can I come get my car over? A wonderful gift. Yes.
Yes, Nurse Sanders.
I had a question. Are you all still seeing, accepting new patients, or do you not?
Yeah, yes, we are. I'm seeing people virtually at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And so they fill out the paperwork about their symptoms and conditions and medications. And
Mm-hmm.
I then tailor comprehensive blood work for them, and they can get that through their insurance, or if they have an HMO, take it back to their HMO doctor, because I'm not
Right.
involved with the HMO, but they can get blood work, and then we go over it. Take approximately 2 hours to go over their blood work, and as far as how their kidneys are doing, their liver, their cholesterol, vitamin D level, thyroid level, risk for cardiovascular disease. I do request some things of them. You got to take your blood pressure, your pulse, take your weight. You have to take responsibility. Then put it all on the doctor. Now we have to take responsibility. So if you can have a blood pressure cuff, that would be wonderful. Eventually, I would like all my patients to have blood pressure cuffs, but if otherwise to go to, have to go to a pharmacy or something until you can get one. But yes, I am seeing patients virtually to keep both of us safe. That is how I'm doing it. As far as thermography, back in the spring, we'll do more thermographies. If anybody's interested in the imaging, we will be back doing that more. But we are
What?
trying to keep everybody safe. But when I go over the lab work, people say, no one's ever gone over it to this extent like this. I never knew this much about the lab work, because usually we just get a message back from the nurse. This was a little high, this was low, this was fine. But I want the blood work can be a roadmap to some of the things that are imbalances to get us an idea of what we need to do to decrease inflammation and improve our health, and even
Yeah.
joint pain, and joint
And
pain.
Nurse Sanders, we
Hmm.
are asking, we have coming up the mental health coaching for the churches. And so my goal is to have for Wellness and Healing to be that group that will be doing and working with the nurses so that we could make sure that we'll have the whole body wellness churches and congregations and people in the community. So they're all asked to, we have to do this, and I'm going to ask her again. There's something that she gave us one time to deal with stress. It was some drops or something that we would use. I'm hoping she's going to remember, because that's one of the recommendation. It was for the immune system and for stress or something. I want us to do the whole body wellness program, and so yes, we're going to have what you're asking her about.
Yeah.
Everybody will have to do the blood. Will have to do the session where they get their information if they don't already have it, and
Well, I
make
just
arrangements. Mhm.
needed a good number because, us 60 and above,
Yes,
65,
ma'am.
we feel like we're going crazy. Like some of my friends that call me, I feel like I'm going crazy, and it's just our hormones.
Hormone.
We have an imbalance in our system, and so if we could get that baseline, lab work and explanation as to this is why you feel like you're going crazy because your hormones are all
What's going on?
twisted. So can you give us a good number?
What's your number? Yeah, phone number. Can you give out your phone number
To the
and your
office?
email address or website address?
Yeah, yes, I can. The office phone number is the same. I'll just say the office name first. It's called the Center for Wellness and and Healing. And again, all the words are spelled out. The Center, CENTER, Wellness, Healing.com. Our office phone number is 713-520-9611, and we have an email is info at center for wellness and healing.com. And at our office, since we spend more time and more holistic, we are not involved with insurance, but in the future, sometime, if Dr. Lewis, if we want to have some type of group situation where everybody has their lab work, we
Yes.
and they feel comfortable enough to go over it in a group type situation, we could go over it, and I could talk. Maybe that would be a way for those that maybe couldn't afford the personalized type approach.
Yes, and then what we're doing is arranging it through group. Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And so we're setting up, as we did in the future, a Saturday, and then we have a pastors group that's on a Tuesday evening,
Okay.
and the pastors groups have those concerns as well. So we'll be moving forward with that. But I know it wasn't the Advantage. Was that the name of something you had like that?
Yes,
Uh,
we have a wonderful product we've had for years that comes from a company in Colorado called Advantage Liquid Concentrate.
that's what it. Yes,
They're
yes. Hmm.
concentrated drops that are antibacteria, antivirus, and anti-inflammatory. And you always put the drops in water. I usually say to put at least 6 to 8 ounces of water, but 8 to 10 drops. And twice a day is great for preventing flus and viruses, even COVID. We've had wonderful testimonies during this COVID season, how people have protected themselves and stayed out of the hospital, whether they're positive or negative or exposed to someone or had some symptoms. But it is a natural antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal a product. And if you have symptoms, 3 times a day, but it is it's a product we can't keep enough in keep enough in. It's flying out of the door,
Yes.
but it's called ALC, or Advantage Liquid Concentrate from Wisdom of Ages.
And it also comes in a capsule.
And now it's in a capsule. The benefit
Mm-hmm.
of the capsule is that the Vantage Liquid Concentrate is a grapefruit seed extract. It's very bitter, and so a lot of people don't like it. But if we put it in water, you can squeeze a little citrus juice in it, like orange or lemon juice or whatever, to mask the taste. Or with children, you could do a smaller dose, like 4 drops, and put it in orange juice. But with my adults, I don't want them to get too much sugar putting a lot in drinking a lot of juice. But anyway, the capsule can be take the place of doing the 10 drops, and that they have a capsule as well. And so a lot of people that really are, can't take anything unless, if it tastes bad, I would recommend the capsule. But that is a new product, that the capsule.
Yeah.
But it has been wonders. I mean, some of the testimonies during COVID, you've had people.
Oh yeah, people who have been exposed. We had one young lady who was tested positive, and she was at home quarantining, and she tested positive twice, and she was getting really depressed because she couldn't go back to work. But she started this program. I guess Advantage Liquid Concentrate is a flagship of the program. We also recommend doing the vitamin D 5,000, and we also do an olive leaf extract. So by using both of those together, you're using multiple antivirals, because the whole idea is what people don't focus on is what we're really trying to do is to kill the virus. We're trying to decrease our viral load. That's how you really control the virus. The approaches that they've been recommending so far, and I know you hear about in the news, is doing the vaccine. And so, but I tell people, vaccine is dependent upon your immune system, because your vaccine helps your immune system stimulate these antibodies that fight against the virus. But if you already have a weakened immune system that's not functioning properly, you can take a vaccine and you won't get that same result. You get a less effective response. So that means people can still get sick. So I don't want people to really think that vaccine is a hope. And it's the answer and the key, but it's only a tool in the toolbox. But the most effective tool is prevention. Is we want to do things to prevent ever getting the vaccine altogether. Getting the virus altogether. So, and the other thing, good thing, since you mentioned Advantage, we are also using it. You can put 20 to 30 drops in about 4 ounces of water, put in a spray container, and make your own hand sanitizer. So rather than buying all of the hand sanitizers with fragrances and different things in it, Advantage Liquid Concentrate, about 30 drops in 4 ounces of water. We carry it. So if we buy a container and we run out of hand sanitizer, we make our own. And it's a very effective way and cost-effective way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know we're running out of time. So next time we're on, it'll be in December. Maybe we could talk about healing from the kitchen. Everything that we have in our kitchen that we could be healed with. Maybe that would be a good thing to really get people close to their food, close to the things in their kitchen that we could use either on our skin, inside of our bodies, and what to do. But I do know that if I can yes, sir.
Well, one thing before you close out, I want to say, we have Dr. Pamela Atkins on here today, and it's actually, she's doing it because it's a very special day for us. Today is our anniversary, and
wow.
we're celebrating 30 years today.
Yes. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Did he have
everybody celebrate with us? I made a special smoothie for us.
Look at that. Oh, wow.
We're drinking the smoothie, and we
toast what y'all toasting to.
We're toasting to 30 years of taking it one day at a time.
Oh, wow. That's right. That's what I say. Yes. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Okay, then.
All right.
Okay, I toast to that.
Thank you.
Okay, I do want to say, everybody, you may not know it, but my granddaughter thinks they're the most loving couple. And the best thing is she thinks that she does not want to go to doctors. So the only doctors, now this lets you know, when she's ever sick or thinks she's going to be sick, she just thinks you need to call up to Dr. Atkins and let me know. And if Nurse Sanders, I'm going to tell this on TV. My mother, they really helped my mother become very healthy. and when she was during her illness, and extend her life as well as my husband. And I'll say that even the doctor said that. What is really doing this? And I'll share next time some of the things that they've talked about that actually use. But my mother would tease them because she was very biased in her age. She thought that doctors had to be a man. So when they would go to the doctor, she would say, and Dr. Pamela Brewer acting was, because she would go in and she'd said, "No, I want the real doctor." Meaning,
She got me in
so
trouble. She keeps me in trouble.
He's an
she got
argument.
in trouble all the time. In trouble. So she would wait on him to come in. She didn't want the wife to come in. She wanted the husband to come in. So that's really cute. But no, really good. So everybody would know. I'm not just saying it because I know of them. I know them. In other words, from health point of view. And so if you want to be healed, this is where you need to check in at the Center for Wellness and Healing. I do want to thank everybody for being here on Mending Threads. And remember, this is your safe place for whole body wellness. And what is our theme? Renew beliefs, rebuild faith, and reconnect families and communities. For what? It is not the circumstances we meet, it is the manner in which we respond that determines health, happiness, and success. Sign up for mental health coaching. Go to wrc-houston.com. Do not complain. Take action. Do something about it. We're responsible. Be the community that you want. So I shall see you there tonight at 7 o'clock. If you're interested, call us at 281-381-2276. Email us at ips.health1@gmail.com. Say you're interested. We'll send you a link. We're going to have pastors and community leaders on. We're going to talk about what to do to heal our community, our young people and old alike, and what is it that we have to do it. So we'll see you there at 7 p.m. tonight. I look forward to it. And see you again next week, Tuesday, 7, same place, same time. Thank you. Have a
Thank
good day.
you. Bye bye.